Alright, hello everyone. So another project I've been working on. This one's been going on quite a long time, but got it sorted. Nothing particularly complicated with it. It's a optical beacon. So it transmits infrared light and there's a modulated carrier embedded on that light. And the idea of it really is to test out non-line of sight communication using light waves. So basically anything that's kind of like over the horizon, which I was doing some tests with last year and was quite successful. So I'm hoping that having this permanently installed at home and automated so it switches on and off and things like that, I'll be able to get out and about in the van and do some more tests from gradually build up the distances further and further away with non-line of sight paths. So basically inside there's infrared LED, and there is on the front there's a shutter and a lens. So I'll just open the lens up, the shutter up. And the shutter, by the way, is to protect this from the sunlight. So if this is going to be outdoors all the time, when the sun shines on this lens here, it would focus all the light on the circuitry and the LED and things inside, and it would probably melt everything. So that's quite necessary, the shutter there. So it's taken the longest time to add the mechanical part of it to this than it has to actually make the internals, because the internals is quite simple. So yes, there's a servo underneath here. It's a little 3D printed cover to stop the water getting in, hopefully. The servo actuates the shutter on the front. Fairly simple really, but it's taken me a little while to get it to this point. Inside there's an Arduino Nano and a GPS receiver module, and you can see on the top there's the GPS antenna. So basically the Arduino Nano controls the time that things go on and off, like the shutter for when sunrise, sunset it turns on, and then at the moment it's just set to run till midnight, and then it'll switch off and close the shutter again. And then the next day, sunset, it'll open up and start transmitting again. So basically darkness, and the beacon will be running. The GPS receiver module, that does the timing, but it also generates the frequency that modulates the LED. So normally you would get like a 1 pulse per second signal from the GPS module, but you're able to reprogram it, and you can specify a frequency output. So I've set it to go between 0 Hz when it's switched off, so the LED's off, and 1480 Hz, so 1.5 kilohertz roughly, modulation when it's running. And that's pretty much it. There's just a couple of DC-DC power supply modules inside, because it's got 12 volts input. One for the LED drive and one for the 5 volts for the Arduino and the servo and the GPS receiver. And I think there's a couple of little FETs in there for driving the LED, and that is pretty much it. So this is going to live at the top of my radio mast here, and hopefully just run happily, automated for a few weeks now on the dark nights, and I'll get out and about with the van at a distance from here and see if I can detect that 1.5 kilohertz carrier over the horizon. Alright, so this is the inside of the box. You've got the lens up this side. This bit in here is the LED, or a bit of aluminium block that the LED is mounted on. That's the servo for actuating the shutter on the front. There's an Arduino Nano at the bottom there. Nothing's particularly tidily wired or anything like that. There's the GPS receiver, and this side the bottom of the GPS antenna. And there's a little circuit board under there with a couple of FETs on for modulating the LED, and that is pretty much it. There's not really a lot else to see. So yeah, optical beacon that's going to sit on the top of my radio mast, and it'll run once it gets dark, and hopefully we'll be able to get some signals over the horizon. So hopefully I'll be able to do some updates in the future, and we'll see how well we do.